Welcome to Conference Connections, where we discuss the latest K-20 trends with thought leaders across the industry. In this episode, we chat with Chris Klein, Head of Education USA for Avantis Education at TCEA 2023. The topic of this discussion is metaverse accessibility for teachers and students. Enjoy Conference Connections, powered by EdCircuit.
Hi, I'm Dave Klein with EdCircuit, here with Chris Klein from Avantis Education, talking about the Eduverse. Chris, welcome.
Thank you. Nice. Glad you're here.
So what is the Eduverse? Educate us, please.
Well, the Eduverse is really it came out of the COVID era, and everybody's talking today now about the metaverse and what that means, etc. If anyone's seen Ready Player One, or if they've gone back and read any of the old books, etc., they know the metaverse is sort of the online place that everyone's going for shared interactions, things along those lines, communication, shopping, gaming, etc. What we had the idea of is, what if we could take what we learned from COVID, which is what I kind of call the chair tip moment in education. We all leaned back a little bit too far and realized, oh my gosh, what if we have to close our schools down? What do we do next?
Right.
So everyone started to think of other ways that they can adopt how to teach, how to learn, and the tool that everybody used was Zoom. Right?
Sure.
But people didn't like Zoom. And the reason they didn't like Zoom was because of the camera. No one wanted to let other people see what their bedrooms look like. The teachers didn't want to have to do their hair in the morning. So everyone put up with it, but you had to have that visual recognition that the student was there and the student was learning. We said, we're already in virtual reality. What if we were able to take that concept of that shared space and make it with avatars for virtual reality? So create an online sort of environment that allows students and teachers to be represented by avatars that are able to communicate with each other, voice over IP, they're able to have a shared experience. Oh, well, that's the metaverse, right?
Right, sure.
But what if we made it solely focused on education? Don't allow in all the ads. Don't allow in the money making and the crypto and all of that other stuff. Exactly. So Eduverse to us is that online metaverse that's designed for education to allow for teachers and students to interact regardless of their hardware, regardless of what platform they're using, wherever they are, whenever they are, and have that shared learning experience.
That's wonderful. So I know you're launching a product here, Eduverse Expeditions.
Yep.
Correct? Yep. So how does that elevate what your initial thought process in COVID time elevates it to the new learning experience and integrated into the classrooms today?
Well, a couple things that happened was for the last couple of years, I've had lots of people come up to me because of our other product, Class VR. And they said, oh, I just spent tens of thousands of dollars on Google Expedition and the app got dropped. What can you do for us? And I didn't really have an answer. And as an educator myself, I always hated saying, sorry, if I could turn back time, I would. But instead of turning back time, what we did is we advanced time. And we said, okay, let's look ahead. Let's build ahead. So what we did is we said, if we were to offer something that was hardware agnostic, okay, that's really the key here. So it works great with our hardware if you want the fully immersive experience. But if you have Google Expeditions kit, or if your school just bought one-to-one Chromebooks or iPads or whatever, we should be able to build something that works for that platform. And we said, if we took that Expeditions idea of providing content in a platform that is universal, that is what's going to take us to the next level. That's advancing time. That is the Eduverse.
So educating the education community on new things and technology has always been challenging, right? So I can just imagine that the metaverse is one of those.
It is.
How does that engagement work for you at that, more seasoned educator who, is very well versed in tech now, but now it's like, now I have this to do. I need to look at this all day long. But
right.
How does that engage?
Well, everyone, when you talk about virtual and augmented reality and things like that, it is a little bit scary. And they say, well, how does this impact what I do? How does it impact my lesson? So people say, okay, give me the curriculum. Right. And our approach has always been, you already have a curriculum. So let us support what you're already teaching. We are not the sole teaching methodology. We're not the sole way to get communication and information across. So we want to support whatever it is that they're already doing. What we found is the more that we can remove barriers and remove friction from the process, the more likely the students are going to benefit. So the funny thing is, if people say, well, this looks great, how are you doing this? How are my students going to benefit? And my answer is kind of, we don't really plan for the student. We design for the teachers. If we can make it easy for the teacher and the teacher can see how it fits in, then the students will actually get to touch it and benefit from it.
Interested in sharing your voice with the K-20 and EdTech community? EdCircuit empowers thought leaders across education to share their voices with their audience. Visit edcircuit.com to learn more.
Well, when you think about all the students and how they learn, the different modalities of learning, VR touches on all of those.
It absolutely does.
And nobody necessarily always talks about the importance of that.
Yeah.
You know, the textbook, then it was software, augmented reality, and now with VR, you can, you know, I can just imagine history lessons, science, right? In the backdrop here.
Exactly.
You know, no, they're not exercise with the child. They understand the importance of how that integrates. What are the students saying about the product?
Well, the students love it because it is something different. And the fact that with the Eduverse, I'm able to go to any place that I might not normally otherwise be able to go. So here we are at a gym, for example.
Right.
This is just a simple metaverse or Eduverse example. But the way we remove the friction to be able to make this into a shared environment is simply over here. I've got a bicep curl that's happening. I can see what's happening with the muscles. And if I wanted to turn this into a communal session, rather than just showing this on my interactive whiteboard, I can come down here and click invite. If anyone scans that QR code, immediately they're in this scene with me as an avatar, supporting voice over IP. I'm able to walk around the gym, look at the different tools, look at the different weight machines, and we're able to communicate. And this has now become my classroom. It could be underwater, it could be on a volcano, it could be walking with dinosaurs, it could be on the moon, anywhere. And I, as a teacher, I can be creative and I can just teach class in a different location. Or I can actually come and use some of the LMS prompts that we provide in regards to tasks for the students to do, teachers, etc. And if I want, I can also use this for homework by coming down here and clicking on the hall pass and sending that link out, and the students can have an individual session at home that they're able to see before they come to class tomorrow.
Wonderful. That's awesome. So how do the parents react to this? The traditional parent, where's homework at night, homework's taking on a whole new range of things, right? How does that integrate, and what's the feedback been from the curriculum perspective?
From what I've heard from the parents, they seem to like it. One of the things is because, number one, they're always worried with anything with the metaverse. They're worried about cyberbullying. They're worried about their students being exposed to things that they wouldn't want them to be otherwise.
Right.
This is a very controlled and protected space. So that removes that barrier of acknowledgement from them. When they actually see what they're able to do here, and they see that the students are not left completely alone, that they do actually have prompts to do. That helps them understand, okay, this is just like a worksheet, except it's way more interactive. The students can then actually capture the representation of their work by following these tasks, and then I can simply come down here and take a photo of whatever it is the task is asking me to, and now I've got that localized on my machine that I can then send as proof of me doing the activity to the professor or to the teacher.
And they can keep that as part of their portfolio.
Exactly.
As it goes through the classroom.
Exactly.
That's fantastic. So, talk to me about a success story, a district that's adopted this. It's like your model school district for implementation. Who is it, if you can tell me, and then what did the implementation look like?
So when we take a look at this, I always liken technology products to a car show. Okay. There's a lot of things you're going to see around here that are actually never going to see the light of day.
Very true.
I don't want to be that concept car. I want to be that Toyota Corolla that everybody has, that's just a workhorse that works in 90% of the situations for 90% of the students, right?
1,000 miles.
Exactly. And honestly, the best thing is that when I don't have great stories to come out of it, because it's just being used as the daily tool. It's a daily driver. That's what we see for most of our products. However, but with us using this platform approach, with both Class VR as well as for the Eduverse and Expeditions, etc., really just giving sort of an open platform to the teacher and saying, do something great with it. Now, the way we do that, for example, if I go back over to Class VR, is we have a library here of about 2,000 pieces of content. That's all wonderful. But we also allow teachers to bring in their own content. They can upload their own videos, images, 3D models, etc. to add to their library. Once they've done that, they're then able to push that out to the headsets using the students. So one of the examples I love to use is there's a school that we work with up in the Northeast that works solely with students with autism. Now, I'm blessed. I do not have any direct connection with anyone with autism, okay? I don't know how to build content for them, but they do. So what I do know about autism is every student is somewhere on the spectrum. Every student has their own triggers. Every student has their own calming and soothing mechanisms. They are good teachers. They know that. So when one student calms themselves by swinging on the swing, and they realize it's January in the Northeast and they can't go outside on the swing set, they took a 360 camera out and recorded a video of swinging on the swing. They came in and put it on a headset that they keep right by the student in class, and whenever the student gets triggered, they can have the student put the headset on, watch that 30-second video, it calms them, soothes them, and they're redirected and brought back on task. We never planned for that.
Right.
But it's because we are willing to say, here's the back door, we've opened it up, bring in your own stuff. We're not the end-all, be-all. We are a platform company that you can do amazing things with. And that's stuff that gets me up in the morning.
That's great. That's great. How are the districts getting information back to them about the success of the program?
Back to the teachers?
So as we rephrase that. So, districts continue to adopt new technology because they know the utilization rates are up, kids are improving. I'm not going to say test scores are going up. That's not the case because everybody claims that.
You got the silver bullet? What?
Yeah. But the issue is, how does the district justify the continued expense of something like this?
Right.
And it's because of the whole social emotional learning. It's adapting the modalities of learning.
Yeah.
The story about autism was great. My daughter's got dyslexia. She lives on Roblox. I wish she had something like this at her school. It was much better.
Yeah.
What is that type of feedback back to the district? And is it supporting your adoption in other districts?
It absolutely is. And what we're finding is, again, because we are not holding ourselves up as this is the way to teach, that makes it a lot more palatable for schools because they understand Edgar Dale's cone of learning. They understand the pyramid. They want to get to higher level utilization. But it all starts with that emotional connection with the content. VR and AR, that's where it really excels. The ability to put yourself and immerse yourself in a different environment than you actually are in. I just saw a video of one of my customers brought by of their second graders. They were actually underwater and they filmed this little video. They were out trying to reach and touch the fish, even though the fish weren't there. But that's a type of thing because you feel like you're in that type of space. And therefore, if you remember the emotions, you make that connection to the information. So the students are holding on to that information. It's locking into longer term memory because there's an emotional aspect to it. Just like that song that we used to listen to back in the 80s that makes us remember that time. It's the same type of thing.
So, Chris, thanks a lot for joining us. This has been great. What has the traffic been like at TCA? Is meeting the people you want to meet?
Yeah, TCA has been great. We really love coming back down here to Texas. The show has had great conversations, good traffic. We're really happy to be here. And I love sharing this new concept. It's like I have a secret that I want to tell everyone.
So how does everyone find out about this secret?
The secret would be go to go.eduverse.com today. You can sign up for free. You have access to free online content that you can invite in your users. It's there. Come to the Eduverse. We're waiting for you.
Chris, thanks for your time.
Thank you.
This episode of Conference Connections was powered by EdCircuit. EdCircuit's mission is to share guidance and expertise in facilitating the appropriate use of digital technology in education. Through our weekly articles, podcasts, and video series, we give a voice to members of the K-20 and EdTech communities. To learn more about our mission and various content, visit edcircuit.com and subscribe to be up to date on the latest thought leadership in the educational industry. For more information, follow us on Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube.